tell us about pre-season. Firstly, you were one that the Sandy coaches were certainly very big on, and you put in a lot of time in pre-season after last season. You're obviously in the program as well. What were some of the main focuses of that period for you?
Yeah, I guess just sort of having the endurance, getting the endurance and stuff, and just sort of being a bit more vocal, and sort of, I guess, obviously leadership's something I really pride myself on. So just becoming more of a leader and being a person that, I guess, teammates can sort of come to if they need anything. So probably just that, and I guess just working extra hard than sort of everyone else. Like once we sort of went away from Dragons, there was that sort of a squad they picked for finals, and I wasn't selected in that. So I just made it sort of my goal to just continue training and continue to train at sort of a high level, so I can, I guess, give myself the best shot for this year coming into the season. But I guess just sort of doing extra reps of sets of running was really something that I think helped me heaps and I guess benefited me, and just sort of going above and beyond sort of the I guess required reps and sets of running and all that. And then obviously, like I sort of just mentioned, just I grabbed a few teammates that I guess I wasn't really too close with at the time, but were all like-minded people and wanted to get the best out of them, such as like myself and in a way. But yeah, I grabbed about 8 or 9 boys, and we all came together and started doing these sessions Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and just ticking off the Dragons program that Greenie gave us, and just continually doing that at a high level and high intensity, and just doing extras what I guess other people wouldn't be doing at that time. But yeah.
What has that leadership looked like from your perspective? Because that's certainly something that people talk about down at Sandy. From a cultural point of view, how have you tried to sort of build that? What have been some things you tried to sort of put in place?
Yeah, well, I guess just sort of I try and not let the ego sort of get the best of players, but I guess just like getting all the boys together, and even when all the private school boys went away, just sort of I guess making that a bit more of a goal to up the culture, and because we were a little bit weaker than without the schoolboys, so just sort of coming together and continually just talking and I guess being social with each other was one of the main goals. But just everyone like knew each other's names, and everyone people weren't afraid to go and speak to Ashy or Sando, these bigger guys. But yeah, it was just so good, and I just wanted everyone to sort of feel like they belonged at Dragons, and really enjoyed and valued coming to training each sort of week.
Well, what's good team culture look like to you? I guess based off the lessons you've learnt just previously, basketball background as well, like what's good culture look like to you that you've been able to implement?
Yeah, well, I guess just sort of on field, just first gives and stuff. So you just back your teammate, and you know they're going to be in the right position, and you trust them to do the work and I guess succeed for the team. But also like off field, just having a chat with someone you may not know, like just going out of your way and saying how you going or whatever, and just speaking about what they sort of do outside of footy, and just getting to know them on that sort of personal level. But yeah, I think we just sort of know each other, and we did that at the start, like pretty much the first training session of pre-season. We sat all the boys sat down here, and we just gave one thing to Rob about just one moment in our life that sort of defines us or whatever. And yeah, we all talked about that, and I think that really bonded us heaps and made us into the team that we were.
And you talk about your basketball background. Tell us a little bit about that decision between footy and basketball, and what swayed you towards footy last year.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. Changing to footy, but I guess with footy, I was just I made the sort of Dragons initial bottom age squad, and I think I was one of 6 or 7 bottom ages to get put into the list. So I thought I may as well give footy a real hard crack. And with basketball, I loved it. It was just I was sort of playing a bit high level there, and trainings were in the morning, and then Dragons would be at night, and it just became too much, and I was just knackered sort of by the end of the day, and I couldn't give my best for footy training. So I just thought, what could I have a career in potentially? And I thought footy was more realistic than basketball. So I guess I made that choice at the start of last year, and yeah, haven't really regretted it or haven't really looked back since. But yeah, I've loved it, and I've sort of loved everything I've done with footy, but also basketball as well.
I guess as well that first month of the season, I think when I spoke to you in pre-season, you were sort of talking about wanting to make a statement with your footy in that sort of first month, and obviously you're able to do that and then get selected for Vic Metro. What were some of those focuses of that initial period for the season? What do you want to show from a skill set point of view?
Yeah, so probably just to play that first game, that first round against Eastern, but then also to play the first 4 games. I think really did help me and sort of got me to where I am. But I think just going out there and just showcasing what I can do, and I guess Charlie Clark was someone pretty big for me last year, and he sort of said when he left, just to sort of showcase what you can do, but don't be afraid to sort of take the game on and stuff things up, because it will happen. But so I just sort of took that into account, and I just tried to play my own game and I guess bring other teammates into the game and help them sort of showcase what they can do. But yeah, probably just to showcase what I can do on the field.
Do you feel fit on the field? Obviously, you talk about endurance being a big focus area for you in pre-season. Obviously, playing that sort of half-forward role required that high running capacity. Yeah,
I think just all the work I sort of put into it at the start of the year, and I guess during the year, Greenie was really good with all that conditioning stuff and not load management, but sort of like how many sets and reps we are of doing things and stuff like that. So I did feel fit on the field, and I guess it all came back to sort of the work I put in the pre-season and stuff. But,
how did you find adapting to the half-forward craft?
Yeah, it was good because I originally played backline. I was originally a back mid, where up until sort of my debut last year at Dandenong, where they just flipped me half forward at half time, and I've been in that position sort of since. So no, it was good. It was good to sort of learn some stuff off Cookie throughout the year, and he was really good with all the leading patterns and just positioning and forward craft and drop a ball. So he was really good, and I just did work with him pre-training, pre-craft, and yeah, he was really big for me, Cookie.
Well, when you talk about sort of playing that defensive role, did that help you playing forward, knowing in terms of leading and just that energy inside forward 50, knowing where to run? Did that help a bit, just sort of knowing where your defender's probably going to go? Does that help you just in your movement and generally how dangerous you can be? Yeah, 100%. I guess because going from a back, you're sort of defending and you hate playing on running forward, so I've always just tried to continuously run and just sort of just keep that, I guess, 2-3 metres on my opponent, because it's so dangerous if you get even just that little bit amount of space. But yeah, just being a defender, I hated when just forwards run, so I just thought I may use that to my advantage and just keep running and keep leading, and if I don't get used, just rip back and stuff. So just continuously being a little bit of a pest for the defender. So yeah, it did obviously help me heaps.
That WA game, how much confidence did you take from that? Take us inside that from your point of view.
Oh yeah, it was really good. I think just sort of, I guess, coming off the Allies game, I didn't have the best game, so I just and I didn't even expect to play that next week. So to get the call from Rob that I was going to be playing a bit more like my role at Dragons was really huge for me, and I just thought it's another opportunity I can sort of make a statement sort of. So I guess I just went out and tried to play my normal game as a mid forward, but no, it was great. It was great to sort of play out here on RSEA in front of heaps of family and stuff. So, but no, it was good. It was good fun and good to get the win by 70 odd with heaps of good boys.
What are the KPIs for you after each game? What are the things you're sort of looking to tick off, and what are the things you get most satisfaction from on field?
I guess probably just like the tackles, I think, is really something I've been working on this whole year, and just, I guess, that defensive forward pressure in a sense. But yeah, probably just the tackling, and I guess just being impactful with my disposals rather than having 30 and not having that much impact with them. So if I'm bringing my teammates into the game and being impactful with the ball, I think that really sort of helps me, and that, I guess, gives me a bit more confidence leading into the next week.
Were there any lessons you learned throughout the year that really impacted your game and sort of changed the way you approach things, and any sort of key moments that you thought defined the way you played your football and moved it to another level?
I think just sort of the way, I guess, probably a lot of it goes back to Vic Metro and sort of, I guess, experiencing the Allies and how they went about it, and just always their half forwards and their mids are always moving around the ground. And even speaking to Sando, he just sort of gave me a bit more of an insight of his running patterns, and I guess how he gets a lot more of the ball and sort of accumulates it. So probably just speaking to guys like him and Ashy and even Brownie as well, just all players that are really good in their positions, and sort of seeing what they do, which separates them from others, and just sort of trying to do what they sort of do, and really adapt my game to sort of that level.
what are the emotions like this week in the lead up to the draft?
Oh yeah, they're very nervous, but yeah, it's very exciting as well. Like I obviously don't know if I'm going to get picked or not. I'm just sort of hoping, but no, it would be great to sort of get picked up. I think any club, I'd love to sort of have that opportunity to play at an AFL club or have access to an AFL facility. But yeah.
And I guess the other one, the VFL opportunity you got this year, how did you find playing against senior bodies? I know you've done it locally, but doing it at the next level must have been an experience you hold close to your heart.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I'm very fortunate that the Saints sort of gave me that opportunity, or the VFL. But yeah, no, it was great. Like I was sort of expecting that level of physicality wise. Like you sort of said, I played a few senior games last year for Parky and I guess knew what was to come, sort of physically wise. But the way they just talk and on the field is just like crazy, and everyone knows what they're doing. So despite we even lost by like a considerable amount of points, I still took heaps from the game, and the way they play, Saints and the other teams we versed, yeah, it was just great. It was such a great experience.